Today I am going to explain you about how to integrate with the SailPoint with the Eclipse and how do you do the programming, how do you do the Beanshell coding. That's I'm going to explain now. So I have already configured SailPoint. Now I'm going for the Eclipse. I'm going to configure Eclipse project. So I want to configure an Eclipse project. So here I'm creating one project. So for that what I'm doing, I went to the Eclipse and I clicked the Java project. And here I'm going to write. So I'm writing a Java training. Okay. Here I'm going to write. So what I did, I have selected a project and I came here. Here what I am doing here, and I wanted to create a class here. And here I'm writing a one class. Okay. And get identities class. Get identities. So I created a class. For this project, I'm going to add one library. This library is going to help me if at all I need help in the Eclipse to get the project like auto help. That time this guy is going to help me. Okay. And for the reason what I'm doing, I am going to the here and I'm selecting this IdentityIQ.jar file. I have selected here and applied here. Okay. And now what I wanted to write it, I want to get all identities and print them in the console. That is my target here. So now basically here I'm going to create an object, SailPoint dot context object and context creation. So I have substituted here. This help I am getting because I have added IdentityIQ.jar in the lib directory. That is the reason it is getting to me. So I got here. So now I want to get all identities. This is, I'm assuming that you have already having this kind of fundamental knowledge. With that, I am going further. So
Okay,
I'm
can you
taking
please,
this.
in coding, I need somewhat brief, bro. So please, what do this SailPoint context do?
Okay, this guy is going to help me to interact with the SailPoint.
Okay.
Okay, and when I say, if I assume that, okay, this is my SailPoint. If I, this is my SailPoint, this is my SailPoint. And if I want to talk to my program, if I want this is my program, this is my program. If my program want to talk to the SailPoint environment, I need to create a programmatically, I need to create a context. With that, I can move on it. So that's the reason I'm creating a context. And this is called as object installation. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, if I say depth of this thing, this is the interface. And
Mm-hmm.
interface object I created, interface has been implemented some classes. So that classes are available in the lib directory. You need not to go that depth as a SailPoint developer. So, and I have some classes here. In the contest class, I have some classes here. So see here, I have some methods here.
Mm-hmm.
And what is a method? Those things we want to understand, you need to have Java background.
Okay.
So here I want to get one specific identity name, then I am going to use this method. If I want to get all identities, then I am going to use this method, get
Objects.
objects method.
Mm-hmm.
See, if you observe
Okay.
here, if you observe here this method, get objects is there, class is there, and return type is list is there.
Yeah.
And the above is, if I observe here, get object is there. and you are passing a class and one particular name is there and it is returning as a T. T means whatever the class you are passing, that
Okay.
particular class name, if you pass, that only that particular object is going to return here.
Okay.
I am trying to explain you the syntax.
Yeah.
You may ask, syntax is grammar. Okay, grammar of the Beanshell coding. So in the same way, here what we did. So here, if you pass identity level, we have identity, right? Identity level, we have identity, right? If you pass here identity, I'll get identity object. And the same way, if I pass the name of the identity, I'll get the name of the identity. If I want to get all identities, then I'm going to use the list.
Okay.
As I said, I want to get all identities names. So that's the reason I'm using this thing. So
Okay.
what exactly I need to pass? I'm going to pass get objects and whatever the object I want to get it, that name I'm going to specify here.
Okay.
And I'm specifying here and I want to get a particular class. So that's the reason what I'm doing. Identity dot class I have given and semicolon I have given. So once I done what I'm doing, I am pressing a control plus one. This guy is going to help me to get help of the what import packages I need to do this program. If I am developing this code, what kind of packages I need to import, I am specifying here.
Mm.
Okay. So what I did, I am selecting this thing. And I got this SailPoint object identity.
Mm.
And again, what I'm doing, I kept my cursor here and I'm pressing a control one. And it is doing me all the required general expressions and all.
Mm.
Again, I am doing a control one. And it is, since it is my standalone program, it is required some analytics and all. So I'm doing a control once again. And what it is doing that whatever I'm passing, here, this particular method having some return type.
Mm.
That method, what it is required, it is helping me. So it is required a class. That's the reason it is giving me this class. It required one collection object. That's the reason it has given me collection object and where it contains all identities information, the name of the that what collection. So what I am specifying, I am giving here identities. I want all identity names. Right? That's the reason I gave identity and identities names, and I got this thing. And after that, what I'm going to do, I want to fetch one. So this guy is going to give me a collection of all identities.
Okay.
Okay. So once it is done, now what I'm going to do, I am not going to explain whole program. I'm taking this part of the code first. I'm going to keep it in the sale point, run this code.
Okay.
Sale point, what happened? No, that guy having its own what you call environment where it will run the program. That's the reason you need not to keep a main method and all. So that's the reason what we are doing here. I'm taking this code. Okay, this is my code. I kept this place here. And if you are running here, you need not to keep the public static void method. So I'm removing this thing.
Okay.
And I'm also
I mean, the
removing this.
context is also not required.
Yeah, very good. Context also not required. Yes. Context by default in that is a very good observation how. So this guy is going to give me by default this rule will have a context object.
I
And there are
mean,
some
does this
objects that
apply
are
for all the
available.
rules and everything?
Sorry?
I mean, does this case applies for all the rules?
Yes, yes.
Right.
That this case is available for all the rules.
Okay.
Okay. Now what I am doing here, I got this thing. You need to see, right? So that's the reason what I'm doing system.out.println. and I want to get all identities,
Yes.
and I'm getting here, keeping this code and specifying here. This guy is going to help me to get all identity names. Okay. And now I want you to get some error, and after that fix the problem, show you. So I'm running this code. It is giving me error. So what error it is going to give me? Actually, I should not give Beanshell coding will have a separate syntax. So that's the reason it is saying me you should not give, okay, I should not give these things and all. So what I am doing here, I am keeping only this I can remove here. Okay, let me save, and I saved here. Okay, I got it here. Now I got this thing. Now I'm going to run this code. How to run this code? I have taken a rule here.
Mm.
Existing rules I have taken. I have taken the name of the rule. How to run this rule? I came to the debug mode. In the debug mode, I kept the rule here. I kept the rule here. And after that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this rule. I'm keeping my rule here, and I
Yes,
selected here. I kept here. And after that, what I'm doing here, I need to run this rule. I need to run this rule. I selected here and I'm running this rule. When I run this thing, I kept to print these details, right? This guy is going to print the values here. It has given identity and the name of the identity name. See here, ID and name,
Mm.
ID and name.
Yeah.
But I need to fetch one by one, right? For
Mm.
that, I need to use a for loop. So for loop, what I'm going to use, I'm going to use for loop. So what I'm doing here, okay, always when you are doing a programming, so that time what you have to do, null point verification also we need to do. Sometimes we can't assume that guy will have all the time data. That's the reason what you are going to do. We need to do null point verification. That's the reason I am doing here. And not is equal null,
Okay.
and ampersand is there, and this size is there. Size should be greater than zero. I'm saying here.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm saying here, I specified this thing. And now I got this data. Okay. I got this data here. And basically, you need to check this kind of validations.
Okay.
Okay. Why you are doing, you may be thinking that at this time, what happened? No, once your project gone, sometimes some objects will not be having a data and all. To fix that problem, they will ask, code review team will ask us, hey, how can you ensure that every time whatever the objects you are looking for, the sometime object is not there. If you are trying to fetch the data, you may get error, and they will say that that's the reason they will suggest us to use this null point verifications.
Mm.
So I specified this thing. Once it is done, I'm going to use a for each case syntax.
Okay.
For each case is going to help me to iterate one by one object. So the syntax is identity. I'm going to specify object name and object variable. Colon is there. This is the collection. And I specified this thing. And after that, here, what I'm doing here, I got this identity. I have a method where it is going to get me the names of the what is there in the identities name. I will get it. So this I have methods here. Identity dot get method. This guy is going to give me name of the identity. You may
Okay.
be asking me, you know, how do I know? You may ask me. So what happened? No, SailPoint given APS. SailPoint has given APS. In the APS, you can find that. Okay, SailPoint given APA. In the APA, you can find all the all these methods. While I was learning, starting of my learning, I was asking myself, how can I know that? Yeah, how do people know these methods? This many methods are there. How do they remember and all? Answer is that you always use the same kind of methods, not every different kind of methods. Like get name, get first name, get last name. Those methods only you'll be using it. If
Okay.
you are not aware of that, anyway you are using Eclipse, through the Eclipse you are going to fetch them automatically. Anyway you are using Eclipse, and Eclipse is going to help me whenever the required is there, that bottom of the thing is going to give me what is going to do that. With that help you are going to use it. So if I take this method, it is going to give me a small help. It will give this all bundles written of this thing and all. Okay. Now I come
Oh,
back here. Okay. Now what I got here, and now I have written a piece of code here.
hmm.
Okay. This I'm going to take here. I can take this code and keep it over there. In this class, I'm going to configure for you deployment accelerators, which will help you to deploy code fastly. So existing code I have in the SailPoint, I have a code, right? That I'm trying to get here. Whatever I developed in the SailPoint. So then, I mean, I have corrected something, right? That I wanted to get here. So what I was talking here, I did some kind of corrections, right? So that code I wanted to get here. So this is my code. This code I want to get into the SailPoint, this location.
Okay.
Okay. And why this is the accelerator I have configured that I am going to show you now. Okay. And the example that outside name it is appearing, I am fetching here. So that code is going to come here. That code is going to come here. So what is that example? Yeah, this is my code. I got this code. Now what I'm taking, earlier what I did, removing something and all I did with my hand, right? Now I need
Hmm.
not to do that. I'm taking the piece of code, what I have here. This still here I have corrected already. I'm taking this 4 lines code. I am keeping in the this place.
Okay.
So you need to understand, observe here. This is like Java. So when you deploy this thing, it is going to convert as a deploy. It is going to convert as Beanshell coding. So when I'm deploying this code, I am keeping the deploy and keeping a artifacts. So when I do this thing, by that time it goes there. This guy is going to convert as a every letter is going to convert like this.
Mm-hmm.
This letters is going to convert like this. Okay. Now,
Okay.
the same way if less than is there, it is going to convert as a LT like this. And the greater than is there means it is going to convert a GT like this.
Okay.
So now we'll go and observe that. And I'm coming here. I came here and I wanted to observe here. And I'm coming here and see here. So now how do I run this code? To run this rule, what I'm going to do, I'm taking this rule name and I'm keeping this place. I'm trying to execute. When I execute this code, it is going to give me result here. Whatever the
Okay.
identities are there that I'm getting here.
Get the ID names right.
Yeah, without identity names only, I got these names and all. Okay.
Hmm.
Now, in the same way, I did programming my hands. Now, how do I use a ChatGPT and fulfill this requirement?
Okay.
Okay. For the things I'm going here, SailPoint. Give me a code to get all identities from the sale point. Give me a code to get all identities from the sale point, identity IQ, okay, and with null point verifications and give me a code and null point verifications verifications and comments also, comments to submit comments with one method, with one method implementation. I gave a code and I gave this thing, and it is I have given this code, and I wanted to have. So it has given all the code. Okay, it has given
Mm-hmm.
all the code, but a little modification I need to do that. It has given all
Okay.
the code, and it has given all the code, almost all code it has given. So now what I am doing here, I am taking this method. I wanted to use it. So first of all, I'm going here. This is my method implementation, and inside this thing.
Okay.
So I'm double checking. Okay, it is and nothing. Okay, that is the reason I get it. I got this thing, and it is saying that I need to return the list. I'm checking this code till this method is having ending here.
Mhm.
Okay, till here. So I'm taking whole code here. I do have deployment accelerator. I'm keeping here. So this is not required. Contest object is not required. So I'm taking all, and I'm going to deploy this code. I have created. So this code is not required. What I'm doing here, I'm commenting this code. What I did earlier, I implemented normal approach. I'm using a chat GPT. With the chat GPT, I wanted to fetch the data. So I got this code. Once installation is done, I need to call. Then only this method is going to get executed. So this is my method. Under that method, I need to call. Then it is going to get executed. If you observe what it is happening, method declaration and array declaration and
Mm-hmm.
array list declaration, and I went here contest or get
But
object. I want to get all identity objects,
identity.
and after that I am checking here is a null or not is equal to null, and if it is a null it is going to return a null, and okay, it is going to return null, and after that we are returning this identities whatever you have selected here,
Mm-hmm.
and after that what we are doing here. And in the general, in case if an exception is there, it is a try class, right? In case exception, you are returning this exception here.
Mm-hmm.
And since it is error list, I mean, like every method should have ending written. So that's the reason I have specified here one more return.
Okay.
Okay, let me. Okay, I have taken this thing, and now what is this? This code piece of code is there. Now I want to deploy this code. To deploy, I have configured deployment accelerator. That is the reason I am able to deploy.
Okay. How
And
did you
here,
deploy it?
That is one approach is there. With that, you are going to do that.
Okay.
This guy is SailPoint and deployment action. That guy is going to talk together. Now I'm coming here and seeing this code. Okay, you can come and see here that code has come here or not. I'm seeing here my code has come. Whatever the code I have developed, that code has come here.
Mm.
And if you do some modification, it will come over there also.
Okay.
Okay, we'll see that later. And now I need to save like this. I clicked on here and I need to run here. I'm running this code. And this guy is, I have written here as a method here and return type I kept. That is the reason it is written here. And if not, it might have printed here also. It might have printed here also. Okay. I want to call this method. Okay, I'm printing here and I don't want to return anything means I can specify void. Otherwise it will give syntax error. So if I don't want anything, I am specifying a return is there and I am specifying the try is there. And here I don't want to return anything. I'm commenting here. So now this guy is when you run this role, what it is going to do, this guy whole code is going to get executed and it is going to look for the method. So
Mm.
when you are executing this method, when this hit is happening, so it will come and see here, this is a method. For this method, is there any implementation in this above code? They'll go and look for that method and that will call. When this method call, it is going to come here first, and after that it is going to be do the installation. It will come here. It will observe this code. It will load this data. It is going to verify this if it is not is null or not. And after that, what it is going to do? If it is not is null, it is going to this if logic is happened. I want to print it. Otherwise, you can't see, right?
Mm.
So to print this thing, what I am doing here. So I am selecting this code. I am selecting this code. I wanted to have it. So I want to get all identities. Identities like this. And after that plus is there. This guy is giving me okay all identities. Okay, it has added all identity names. Okay. Like okay, this guy is not implemented properly. So now what I'm doing, this code I'm adding here. Whatever the code I'm adding here. The prompt my whatever I given a prompt that might be the system did not understand, but almost code I got it here. And I am while I'm explaining, I'm also iterating a code how it is working and all. So I have a identities list. So I kept his identities list. So after that identity is there, I have I'm printing here one by one. And this is my and it is not executed, then only this loop is going to execute it, and that's the reason I'm keeping outside.
Uh,
If it is not executed, then only it will come here. In this case, it is going to be check. Okay, if it is a it is verifying here, it is executing directly. Let it get executed first. And I need to add null pointer verifications also. We'll add it later. See, I got the names.
okay.
So
Bro,
this
once can you explain this iteration, how, I mean, how the for loop works? Because I'm not
okay. I
sure, I mean, how
understand.
this works.
Yeah, I understand. Actually, to understand for each loop, what you have to understand first to syntax of the for each case.
Yeah.
So let you understand for each case syntax. For each case syntax. Uh, for each case, if I give, it will give many languages. I want only Java language. So stopping here. For each case, syntax in Java language. Okay, it is giving Java
Yeah.
language. Mhm. Java language with basic examples. For each case, how it works, actually, this is the syntax.
Okay.
This is the data type and a variable
Yeah.
and a collection.
I mean, complete list, right? A collection means.
Yeah, collection means a group of object. In this code, if I go over here, this is contains all objects of identities, correct?
Okay, this is a standard, I mean, standard variable that list, I mean, identity list.
No, this is not standard variables.
Yeah, oh, okay, okay, we have different
Whatever
type.
it is written, whatever this guy is written, that is going to keep here.
Okay,
This is the variable and it contains a collection of objects.
okay.
Okay, and I kept here collection. This is the syntax. Now
Mm,
I am iterating for identity. So then I am going to specify here identity variable the collection object.
mm,
If I am iterating for the application object, then I am going to specify application variable and application object name.
okay.
If I am iterating for the link, I am going to specify link and variable and a link objects.
Mm,
Whatever objects you have, that all objects in that.
okay,
This is the SANDES syntax. So
okay.
now if I see here, this is the collection of a, it is a collection of integer array. In this case, what I am doing, int I specified and number I specified, this collection of numbers I specified.
Mm,
Then if I run this thing, it is going to run one by one value.
okay. This called for each loop, right? Okay.
Yeah, this is for each loop.
Mm,
And the same way, if I go to the string array, this is the collection of string array.
mm,
And I specify the string and a variable and the name of the names.
okay, got it.
And I'm getting one by one.
Yeah,
I'm so happy you're responsive. That is very good. Okay.
okay.
And this way, if I go and observe here, if I observe here, and if I understood this code, I specified here, and
Mm,
I want to run this code as watch by you. This is my simple program. I am wanted to run. This is complete Java code. That's the reason I'm running here.
mm.
See?
Yeah, I got it. How it works.
Okay. These
Yeah.
are about my